So today I am going to give an overview about my practicum visit 1 and 2 and experience at Hollywood House, my final case study. My client was client H. These are for de-identification purposes. She was an African American female. I presume her age was C2 or older because that is the criteria requirements for you to reside in Hollywood House. Also, her primary disability was osteoarthritis. She did disclose that she had an injury to her lower body that caused her intermittent claudication and high blood pressure. The high blood pressure, she did also disclose that she got that from her mother, so it was a part of her family history. So, client H's her theory to disability practice is where a client diagnosed with a life-changing disability is in an environment that is accommodated by their disability and catered to for regular interaction. The model of disability that I thought my client had was the social model. Client anxious community provides areas to exercise that are easily accessible, like cycling, as outside space to walk, exercise bands, and dumbbells. Client H interaction with her community was normal for her condition. This is just my citation for the slides used previously. This is client H's SMART goals. So for S, I had areas of improvement targeted, which is her hips, lower bodies, and more specifically her legs. Client H wants more mobility and strength in her lower body, being able to comfortably sit and stand without pain. For M, I had 3 months. I feel like since she already exercises, if she just increases the time that she's exercising, there should be some progression seen by June or July. For A, I had regained muscular strength in her lower body. I do feel as though stretching regularly will help loosen tight muscles and ease stiffness in her body. Regardless if she's exercising or not, the claudication, if she stretches and just be more involved in moving, it'll help with that. For R, I had increased time on cycling, bike, and stretching. This helps the body increase its stamina and increasing strength in the muscles to help prolong time cycling. So, this is more like a realistic factor of her progress. So I'm not saying that she has to go straight forward into vigorous training, but if you're already in the motion and your body is already in the motion of exercising, just increasing the time, you'll give yourself more stamina. Your muscles will get stronger for you to do other more intense exercises or to go longer. For T, this is just like a small little map down of just an idea of what I would want my client doing. So this is 3 sets of 10 sit and reaches with a 20-second break in between, and then 2 sets of 10 sit and stands. So like I said, her last time we were at the Practicum 1 visit, she did not participate in the balance test that we had where we were sitting and standing, or just the fact that we would have to get up and down. So, and then the second time she did. So I feel as though, like, if she just keeps working more at it, then she would be more comfortable to do those kind of things. I also have 15 minutes on the treadmill with a 7-minute rest in between, and then a 12-minute stationary bike workout. So she already does these things. I asked her what's the longest time she's ever been. She done her treadmill. She said 11 minutes. So I feel like if we increase it, I feel like if we increase the time of an exercise that she already has, it would help her. So I'm not trying to take her body out of something that it is normally used to, or take her out of any routine that she normally has. I am just trying to add to it. So the more you add to it, the longer you'll go, the more your muscles will be able to endure the exercise, the stronger it'll get. So ultimately, it will still be helping her increase the strength in her lower body. The more time you run and cycle, and you are using your legs and your knees to bend. So if bending is where her issues and her pain is, the more she does these kind of exercises, it'll help her. So this is a Hollywood House overview. Hollywood House is located on 5700 North Sheridan Avenue in Chicago, Illinois. It was originally managed by the city of Chicago. Post-COVID, the city of Chicago was trying to sell the building, and it is now under the management of Heartland Alliance. The building was built in 1963, so as you may think, it was an older built house. There is new renovations going in the building now, but it is a 197 unit building and it holds the occupancy of 127 senior adults. It was awarded the Polk Brothers Foundation Preservation Award in 2011, and like I said before, the new renovation started in 2008. So they are updating it, putting things that it needs to better cater to the residents they have now. There are elevators for disabled residents in wheelchairs. Coming up is Hollywood's house accessibility. They have an elevator on the first floor for any residents that transport through wheelchairs, walkers, or canes. They have a sunroom. They have access to parks and grocery stores close by in Lakeview. They also have an open space and a common area at the first floor for gatherings and community engagement. My client was given the Part Q and medical questionnaire just to get any history from her for her health condition and just to make sure that she would be clear to exercise. She responded to yes to one or more of the general health questions. So she did disclose that she does have a secondary chronic health condition, which is sleep apnea. She has high blood pressure, but she does not take any medicine for those, and high cholesterol. Coming up next is her pre-screening process. So along with the Part Q and the medical questionnaire, she was given an informed consent. This was just giving her a breakdown of everything that we were going to do as far as her exercise plan, and giving the client, the resident, an option whether or not she wanted to participate. There was also the risk that could have happened, broken down on that. If any, of course, we always aim for a safe exercise. She also was given the seated star balance test. It's a modification of the star standing balance test for clients that weren't able to take the test that way. So it's a modified test to measure dynamic seating ability, and the assessment was explained as a trial run for the client, getting an estimate to where they are physically based on being able to sit and stand and reach at a controlled level. I did also have to reassure our client that there is no right or wrong answers when it comes to any numbers. There's not a goal that we're trying to reach when we have her do the test, and just to basically do it to her fullest ability. And this is just something that we would use to take for her planned exercise. So coming up is going to be the results that we had for client H from her seated star balance test. So for her initial right arm, you do see that her reaching upwards, it was 33 centimeters. Reaching forward and backwards, it was around roughly the same, 65 and 67. So for her second run, she actually decreased her reach from the first initial one. I did realize that during her test, she had to reposition her feet a couple times, and from repositioning her feet, it made her body unlevel on the chair. So I do feel like that's why she had different measurements. However, I did have to let her know, though, like reaching outside of the chair could cause for an injury. So I just, let her know whatever you can reach while you're leveled on the chair. I did like the fact that the client wanted to overachieve her last results. So she was very enthusiastic, and she definitely wanted to participate, and she wanted to see where she was. But I also just want to let her know, this is just to see where you are. There is no goal for you to necessarily reach at the moment. It's just to see where you are currently. So coming up is my key learning questions, my answers. For my key learning experiences questions, through this practicum experience, I learned that not all senior adults in assisted living have chronic illness and are physically disabled. Also, I learned how to administer a STAR balance assessment test. For number two, I had the opportunity to build new connections with outside and fresh clients and organizations. My strength was my ability to explain thoroughly. My strength also was me demonstrating the ability to listen to my client and her needs and to properly articulate my responses. So my client did have a lot of questions as far as like what I plan to do that would help her achieve her goals, to alleviate her sore pains in her legs. Also, on a scale from 1 to 10, I would say my practicum experience is a 9. I just would have liked for it to be more participants. That way, students had their own client. It was more of a one-on-one personable experience. But overall, I did like it. As far as more opportunities,